Hey guys, so today I am here with another Ask Kirsten video. This is Ask Kirsten number 17. That is crazy. Well, 17 it actually isn't that high of a number, but to me I feel like I've done way too many of these, but I love it. So if you guys do not know, Ask Kirstens are my Q&A videos. So if you have any questions for me, feel free to leave them in the comments below on this video and I will answer them in my next Ask Kirsten. So I have my Ask Kirsten number 16 pulled up on my phone. It says I have 55 comments, but I think a lot of them are like actual like comments, not exactly questions. But I'm gonna go ahead and answer everything that I can because I love answering questions for you guys. So let's go ahead and get started. Deborah White asked 2 questions. She said, would you and Brian ever come to the UK? And also, what MacBook do you have? I definitely want to travel. I know Brian and I want to travel, so if we ever get the opportunity, I would love to go to the UK. And honestly, I think it's a MacBook Pro 15-inch. I'm not sure. It still is Brian's computer. I'm just on it all the time. So it's Brian's computer, so he knows what it is exactly, but I'm pretty sure it's a MacBook Pro 15-inch. Makeup Diva says, what are your top 3 favorite books? The Harry Potter series is definitely one of my top like books. Just the whole entire series. Perks of Being a Wallflower, and Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I have a ton of like favorite books, honestly. I can't remember. I read this one junior year and I think it's like my first picture ever on Instagram. It's by Carson McCullers. If you want to go through my Instagram and look at the first picture, I think, oh, it's The Heart is a Lonely Hunter. You don't have to do it. I got it for you. The Heart is a Lonely Hunter from Carson McCullers is one of my favorite books too. I read it my junior year and I loved it. Ben Rose 51 says, would you ever want to visit California again? And have you ever been to Vans Warped Tour? And who is your favorite band to see? I definitely want to go back to California. I miss it so much. I really miss the area we lived in because we lived in a really populated area. Like, we lived on like the border between Santa Ana and Costa Mesa, so there was so much stuff. There was that big mall that I worked at, South Coast Plaza, and there's just a lot to do in California, so I definitely want to go back and, I don't know, visit all my friends, and I want to go to LA IMATs, and there's so much that I want to do, but I definitely miss California and I would go back. And then I have been to Vans Warped Tour. I went in 2011 and 2012. And my favorite band to see obviously was like Abandon All Ships and Senses Fail because they're my 2 favorites. But other than them, I really enjoyed seeing Attack Attack. Attack Attack was the first band we ever saw the first time I ever went to Warped Tour. We walked in, and if you've ever been there, it's pretty hectic, and I mean, I'm a little like shy when it comes to big situations, so like we walked in there and I was just kind of like a little turtle. I was like, oh my god. So we walked in and we just kind of like walked around and we were just like, okay, let's just go to a venue, like let's just go up to a stage and see who's playing. And like Attack Attack came on and it happened to be like the biggest stage, and it was a really cool experience. We were like in the middle and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. TQCHOKOBON, I said that really fast. They asked, would you ever go to study or work abroad without Brian? And do you think being in such a serious relationship at that young age stops you from doing stuff? I definitely would go. Like, if I had a really amazing opportunity to work abroad or even to study abroad and it was like a really good program that I desperately wanted to do, I definitely think I would go without Brian, but I would probably visit him a ton. But I don't see any of that happening. But if I could, I totally would. And I don't think if you're in a serious relationship, it should alter you from doing anything like that. Like, if you want to do something like that and your significant other is like, no, you shouldn't do that, they obviously don't want you to follow your dreams and don't want you to pursue something that you really want to do, so it's probably not a good situation. But I don't think it prevents you at all, because if you're in a serious relationship and that person really like appreciates you and respects your relationship, they should let you do whatever you want to do, basically. But Grace says, if you could do any job, not worrying about the pay and realistic things like that, what would you do? Any job. I mean, I don't want this to like offend anybody. I don't think it will, but if I could, I would do YouTube for sure. Like, if I could do YouTube for the rest of my life, if it was like a really good, well-paying job for me, I for sure would. And that's just me being totally honest. But other than YouTube, if I could do any job and not have to worry about the pay, I don't know. I mean, YouTube's probably a big one for me. Like, that's the first thing that like popped into my head. But I really don't know anything else that I would want to do, not having to worry about like pay or anything. Known Basketball Girl says, I just want to say this really fast, like, a lot of you that ask questions on my Ask Kirstens, I swear I've seen your usernames in like every Ask Kirsten consistently, so thank you so much. If you've asked a question in every Ask Kirsten, I really appreciate it. I've seen this girl in like every every question, and I really appreciate it, so thank you. But she asked, do you see you and Brian getting married? I do. I don't see us getting married for a while. I know a lot of people, when they're in relationships, and like at our age, I guess, because we're about to be 20, you know, if they're in a relationship, they kind of rush into marriage, or at least that's what I've seen, like, with all my classmates. But I mean, Brian and I, we've been together for 3.5 years, and I think we're at a point in a relationship where we could get married, but, you know, we just, I mean, it just seems, I don't know, we just don't want to get married until we're older, and just until we can actually, like, financially be stable on our own. Like, we don't want to be married and living in, you know, our parents' house. We don't want to be married and not be financially stable. So we definitely are waiting to get married. I think we're waiting until we're both 21. That's probably like our minimum right there. So yeah, I definitely see us getting married. Dolly McGuire says, they say it's good to change your hair every 7 years to get a fresh start. Would you ever change your hair, like chop it all off? Well, I did change my hair about a month ago. I did dye it blonde, and I've been thinking that when I go lighter, which I'm not sure when I'm going lighter yet, I might cut it a little bit, but I really do like my long hair. It took me a really long time to grow my hair out, so just to cut it all off would feel like I would just be so heartbroken. So maybe I'll chop it a little bit, like maybe just cut it to like here, but I definitely don't see myself like getting like a super short like pixie cut or anything crazy like that. And I'm like shedding as I'm talking about my hair. And then she also said, I watch your vlogs and it seems like you make your bed every day. But when you lived with your mom, you never made your bed. Is it weird making your bed now since you used to never do it? I used to make my bed sometimes. Give me a little credit. I usually make the bed, this bed, when I'm filming. Other than that, the bed's kind of crumpled. But it's not weird. I mean, it's really simple just to put blankets together, so it's not that big of a deal. Tiana, I think, M says, do you think you and Brian will have a baby one day? If so, how many kids, and what would you name her or him? I definitely think we're gonna have kids. Brian and I really love kids. Like, we have friends that have kids, we have neighbors that have kids, and we're like completely obsessed with them. Like, we treat them like they're our own. We love babies. Babies are so cute. So I definitely think we're gonna have a kid one day. Obviously not until after we're married, unless something crazy happens, which it shouldn't. I definitely think we do want to have a kid. I think we've been thinking about having two, just like a boy and a girl, if, you know, that's possible. And we do have names picked out. But we had names picked out like 2 years ago, and then we kind of were like, and we picked out new names, and now we like them, but I don't know, that may change, so I really don't want to say any names, because like, it's a secret. So Marie says, are you going to Vans Warped Tour this year? I am not, unfortunately. We were actually talking about going, but it's around the time that we'll be in school. We are starting school in the summer semester, so we're not going to be able to go this year, and I'm a little bit disappointed because I missed last year, and you know, we're gonna miss this year, but hopefully next year, hopefully we take next year's summer off and we can go next year. Wonderful Monday says, do you plan on getting any animals? I know you had a cat when you were living with your parents. Yeah, I have a cat and a dog at my parents' house. I really want a puppy. I've been trying to convince Brian's dad to let us have a puppy for a very long time now, and I'm like this close to talking him into it. However, I want like a small dog. I want like a pug or like a chihuahua, which is really funny. I love chihuahuas. I think they're so cute. But I think they want like a larger dog, but you know what? I'm gonna get in there, okay? I'm the only girl in the house, and if I want a puppy that's small, I should get a puppy, you know? So I definitely want a puppy. I would get a cat, but everyone in the house is allergic to cats except me, so I don't want to like endanger their lives by getting a little kitten. Michelle Hart's Makeup says, when do you plan on getting your driver's license? I feel like this question's in every Ask Kirsten too. I am planning on getting it soon because I am going to be 20 this year, and I think it's a little bit embarrassing. Well, it's not embarrassing, but I've never really needed a driver's license, honestly. So I will be getting it soon. I'm hoping to get it probably by the end of the year. That's my goal. I have been driving a little bit, but it's not like fabulous. I'm still like really antsy when driving. I really just don't like when I'm like driving and like a car comes past me on the other side. It freaks me out. I don't like it. So I mean, I'm getting used to it, so hopefully by the end of the year I'm calm and I can drive. So hopefully by the end of this year. Pink Kitty 16 says, what are your plans for college and what is the next tattoo you want to get? Love you. I love you too. Actually, I said this before, but we are starting school in the summer. I decided to go in the summer semester. We're going summer fall, obviously. We're not taking any more semesters off. So I am starting. I'm just doing basic general education at a community college. I applied as my major being psychology, but I'm not sure. I might change my major. I don't know yet. But yeah, I'm going to college, and then I do have some ideas for another tattoo. I do want to get another quote somewhere, but I'm just kind of like, I don't know, I don't have the money right now, and I've been like kind of changing my mind a lot, and I just don't want to get one unless I'm like fully set on it yet, so yeah. Astrid Guzman says, first of all, you and Brian are the best. I love your vlogs. If you could have 3 wishes, what would they be? Oh, to have more wishes. I don't know, I guess 3 wishes, a puppy for sure, a job right now because I've literally been applying everywhere under the sun and haven't got a job yet, and I'm like patiently waiting for a phone call, and I'm hoping that school goes simple for me. I'm kind of hoping that it's not too hectic. I know college, like, it's not going to be hard, it's general education, but I'm just hoping everything kind of goes smoothly for me, so those are my 3 wishes. Alexandra Juskova says, thanks for answering my questions. What are your plans for the summer? Anyways, love you. I love you too. Like I said, my plans for the summer are to go to college, and there goes my summer, but I'm happy with it. I'll be fine. Anna Ray says, do you and Brian still celebrate months y'all are together? Not as much as we did like the first year. Yesterday was our 3.5-year anniversary, so obviously we kind of were like, hey, happy 3.5 years, and usually we just kind of like text each other like happy 30 months, happy whatever, like what is it, 3.5 years is how many months, like 40 or something, I don't know, but like we'll text each other every once in a while and be like, hey, today's our month anniversary, but we don't really celebrate it as much as we do now, like the half-year point and the year point, so Julia K says, what do you use to keep your gauges clean? I actually take them out like once a week, and I actually like clean them because I wear these ones a lot of the time and they're silicone, so like this is really gross, but like your gunk will get like stuck to it, so you have to like really clean them. So I clean them about once a week with like soap and water. EGI Edith with 2 H's says, how is not walking everywhere like you did in California? I'm sure you still walk places, but not like before. Oh my gosh, I don't walk anywhere, and it's like really depressing. I mean, when I was walking everywhere, I hated it, but now that I'm not, I actually really miss it because, well, first of all, when I was walking, I was taking like the scenic route to work, so it was like beautiful every time I walked to work. But yeah, I really miss walking everywhere. I can definitely tell I'm getting out of shape, and it's really depressing, but we have like a nice little gated community that I might start running in soon, so yeah. Allison Cop 1122 says, if you were to go on a week-long trip but could only bring 3 makeup products, which ones would you choose and why? I would choose a foundation, just any foundation, honestly, probably a BB cream because it's a trip. I would choose mascara, any mascara, and probably foundation, mascara, either bronzer or a lip color. I would just end up picking or choosing. This has 2 thumbs up. It's from Bethany Maciel, and it says, do you smoke weed? I do not smoke weed. Sorry. Easy Faith 100 says, what is your favorite makeup brand and which one of your tattoos hurt the most? My all-time favorite high-end makeup brand is Urban Decay. Literally everything they make I love. And my favorite drugstore makeup brand is probably I want to say Maybelline. Probably Maybelline. And then, which one of my tattoos hurt the most? I mean, probably my finger, honestly. I mean, it was like the shortest tattoo to get. It was like 5 minutes. But it hurt. Like, it hurt really bad. Oh god, I don't want to say this wrong. Yusra Malik, what is your favorite singer/band at the moment, and how good at applying makeup on other people do you have to be to work in Sephora? My favorite like singer band at the moment is probably Borgore, and I mean, it depends. Like, if you're applying to be a color artist, you have to obviously be good at applying makeup, but if you're applying to be a cashier, you don't even have to worry about it. Morgan Richardson says, hi Kirsten, I watch your weekly vlogs and absolutely love you and Brian together. I have 2 questions. How do you 2 deal with jealousy, and how long did it take for you guys to get used to living together? I'm still a pretty jealous person, and Brian is too a little bit, but since we live together, it's honestly not like taking over our lives anymore. It's not difficult, and we never really get jealous anymore. And then it didn't really take us a long time to get used to living together, just because while we were dating, we were spending nights at each other's houses, and it wasn't crazy. I know, like, you know, doing like really personal things in front of each other for the first time is kind of awkward, but you kind of get over it. Hey Baby 22 says, do you still use Ask.fm as well? I do. I have an Ask.fm if you guys want to ask me any questions. It's just my first and last name, so you can just look at like my Twitter or something, and it's that. Style Live says, do you want any more tattoos, and if so, how many would be your limit? Of course I do, and I don't know. I don't really have a limit yet, obviously. I don't really have a limit, but I'm sure if I got a ton, I'm like, okay, stop, that's probably it. TQCH, this was the same person, TQCHOKOBON says, your dad lives in Ohio, doesn't he? When was the last time you saw him? How did it feel spending Christmas with you missing your parents and siblings? Yes, my dad lives in Ohio. I haven't seen him since the summer before my senior year of high school, so about 2 years ago. And it was a little sad spending Christmas without my family, but you know, as you get older, you kind of have to spend holidays away, which is kind of sad. So hopefully this Christmas, I'll probably go spend it with my family. Anna Ray says, if I followed Jason on Instagram, would he be creeped out? And this has 1 thumbs up. If you guys don't know, Jason is Brian's little brother, and I don't think he would be creeped out, so don't worry about it. Dean Marie says, if you had a chance to move back to California, would you? Yes. Yes. And then a lot of other questions they're asking about what happened between Brian and I. If you guys don't follow our weekly vlog channel, we haven't been posting weekly vlogs in about a month or so now. Brian and I did break up for a brief period of time, and I actually want both of us to like sit down and film a sit-down video on our Brian and Kirsten TV channel, kind of discussing it, because I know a lot of people have been asking questions about it, and I totally understand if everyone's curious, because we did put our lives out there, and we did kind of like tell you guys everything, and then all of a sudden we were like, nothing. So I do understand a lot of you feel like you need to know, and that's totally understandable. So I do want to film a video on our channel just kind of discussing it, but just quickly. It wasn't a mutual thing. I did it because I wasn't happy, and we've been arguing a lot, and we just weren't happy. So we broke up for a few days. No, I did not run off with anyone else. I went and stayed at a mutual friend's house who was a married couple that we talk about all the time. They have a little baby, so cute. And I stayed there for a couple of days. I saw Brian every single day. We really talked it out, and that's why we were back together. No, we didn't do it because we wanted to stop vlogging, and we didn't do it for like publicity or anything. It was just a personal thing, and that's why I don't really like talking about it, just because I don't know, I just don't like talking about it. I don't think what I did was right, and I want to take it back. So yeah, that is it for Ask Kirsten number 17. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, and I will see you guys in my next video.